Conditions are quiet and warm for this time of year right now, but that changes a ton over the next 24 to 48 hours. Currently sitting near 50 degrees, if not into the 50s, like Roscoe and Rockford are currently, but we don't see these kind of conditions last for too long, as we are watching out for another potential winter storm later this week. That storm system currently near Phoenix, so some snow and rain on that end of the country. As it draws closer towards us, it can either track closer towards Chicago or southern Illinois, and of course that'll have a big impact on just how much snow we might end up seeing as that weather system draws closer. We also have some colder air moving in, so that's not going to bring in any showers, but it will change our temperatures going into tomorrow. So the mid-50s like we saw today, that goes away quickly. We drop about 15 degrees going into tomorrow afternoon. Tonight, not all that chilly, but we do get down to near freezing as some cloud cover returns. And then for tomorrow, only up to 42 degrees. Now this is a lot closer to average for this time of year, but after a day in the mid-50s, it will feel a little colder, and we won't see as much sunshine, expecting to stay overcast yet dry all throughout the course of the day. Then, as we get into Friday, that's when we have to keep an eye out for possibly some slushy snow. It all depends on where the storm tracks, and there's two scenarios right now. Scenario number one, we have the bullseye right over top of us. That could mean some heavy snow and several inches of accumulation, depending on how much rain mixes in. And that may still vary by certain degrees. It kind of depends on just how much that bullseye lines up over us, but that's scenario one. We get that storm to track in and bring in a decent amount of snow. Scenario number two is that the storm stays more off to our southeast. I still think we get brushed with some light snowfall, but still be ready for some slushy roads, just not quite as much as scenario one. No matter what, we get some strong winds with this, with blustery gusts up to about 40 miles per hour. So things are going to look a little windy as we head into the end of the work week. So slushy snow reaches us by Friday. It just depends on how much reaches us, of course. And again, a little rain mixes in from time to time, so that will cause some wet roads, if not slushy roads. And then, of course, that snow could stick and pile up on grassy surfaces. So that's some of the impacts that we'll see towards the end of the week. And again, keep in mind, blustery winds and some rainfall just around the corner with that, but I think a lot of what falls will be snow no matter what situation we find ourselves in. As you look ahead in the forecast from there, we're rebounding this weekend. A little cloudy on Saturday, sun shines back on Sunday. A lot of that snow starting to melt. Next week, warm enough for rain showers and only rain, not expecting any freezing rain before we cool off a little into the middle of next week. In your most accurate 10-day forecast, the weather may drop to the 30s as we head into mid-March. So just because we saw some spring weather today doesn't mean it sticks. It's very typical of March, where we dance back and forth between seasons for a while.